Hello, good morning, and the edition of the Betting Issue. This is the Thursday edition, and we are grateful to have you here on 89.9 in Lusaka and the surrounding areas. We are also live on our Facebook page. Look out for that page. It's 5FM Radio Zambia. Like it, share it, and of course, leave us a comment. We will definitely be coming back to read it later on when we give you, our listener, an opportunity to have your voice on to the program. All right. So right now, let me quickly also state that we are also live on our various partner radio stations. We are live on Katete FM on 103.3, and Katete FM covers the entire Eastern Province, literally, and also live in Kabwe on 91.1, and that's Spice FM covering the central province as well. All right. Also up north, but still within the central region, 100.3 FM in Kapiri, that is. And also not forgetting that we are live on the Copper Belt. We are live on Platinum Radio on 99. The Copper Belt, as well as iWave in Chingola, covering the rest of the Copper Belt as well on 90.1. Let's go live on Tuta FM, and obviously also remember that Tuta FM covers Rapura province on 90.7 FM, and Mchinga Radio in Chinsali covering the rest of Mchinga province on 88.1. And later on, like I earlier said, I'll give you an opportunity as a listener to call in and interact with our guest. I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. Now, today we are discussing everything football. Our guest is the football administrator. We've hosted him several times here, but not in the longest time. And so we are delighted to have him, Mr. Blackwell Siwale. He is football administrator. And good to have you. It's been a long time, and we are delighted to see you.
Pleasure is mine, Zach.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and good morning to your listeners.
Still doing gym active?
Yes, too much.
You look like it.
That's the way to go.
You look like it. I mean, yeah, I'm impressed to see you and looking very strong and much younger.
Thank you, Zach. We thank God for the gift of life, and
Yeah.
we have to preserve it and always praise and thank God.
Now, we haven't spoken. A lot has taken place in between now and the last time we spoke. And what has really taken a lot is definitely the transition of the Kamanga administration into the Keith administration. But first of all, even while Andrew Kamanga was president and at the helm of Zambian football, you were a big critic. You criticized Kamanga on a lot of things, including, I think, the last criticism that you had was the appointment of the current national team coach as well. You were critical about how we should have not settled for Avram Grant. Now, much as you were a critic, here is Kamanga, who bids farewell after losing an election, but he goes with a head high, having had all national teams qualifying to tournaments. And I think he goes out head high and proud that eventually he achieved something.
No, not at all. It's to repeat a feat that was done before by another executive. It's not something you can be proud of unless you surpass what they achieved. Then you can then walk away with your head high. That I disagree. Secondly, yes, of Avram Grant is something I've criticized the previous executive. I still do now, because I strongly believe that Avram Grant has passed his stage of ambition. Why? Because he's at 67, 70. You have no ambition at all. He's coached Chelsea, he's coached big teams, clubs in Europe. There's nothing else left for him to achieve. So Zambia is just a holiday for him. He's on holiday. The mind is retired. So at the end of the day, I don't hope to achieve anything with Avram Grant being on the helm of our national team football.
Yeah. I still want to disagree with you because, I mean, surpassing previous successes, I think Andrew Kamanga did surpass previous administrations in as far as women's football is concerned. And I think like we saw the peak of women football at national team level under Kamanga than any other.
No, I also disagree with you in the sense that we should not look at women football in isolation. We should look at football in general. Okay, um, national women national in our flag bearer. Okay, not that I'm downgrading the achievements done by the women national team. They are not our flag bearer. With the flag bearer, standard flag bearer for the Zambia football is women is a men national team. Uh, he was building on a team that had been together way back from 2010, 2012, somewhere there. Okay, these girls World Cup in Costa Rica, the Barbara Bandas, the Grace Chandas, they were there. Okay, so what he did not do is destabilize the women national team like he did to the men national team. Okay, the transition with the women national team was better. Women national team. That's why we went further and further and further in achieving what the women national team has achieved. But we owe it to him? No, we owe it to those that molded the team then, grew it to wherever it is, and if you had done the same with the men national team, would say yes, you can walk away with his head high. But for me, the answer is no.
Are you writing off everything about Kamuka?
No, I'm not writing off everything.
Do you feel there are certain successes that he can go home? You saying he did well here, and we appreciate that.
In building the women national team from where it was to what it is today,
Yeah.
yes, but he did it in isolation. What about the men national team? He's left us grappling with a lot of challenges. I've left a good national team in men's team together with the women's team. Then you could say, yeah, please go and rest Mr. Kamanga.
He's always stated his part when it comes to the national team and the men's national team. He says, look, at the time he was taking over as Football Association of Zambia, he categorically inherited a national team that, first of all, after winning 2012 AFCON, the next year, as defending champions, getting into no thought of 2012. So really, it was expected, away from Andrew Kamanga, any other who would have taken over football. It was definitely a very huge gap, because the only team that you had besides the national team was the under 20. And these are players that were not even featuring in that 2012 team to say, we are building a future, a takeover team. So he says the gap was too huge. And so the building process definitely was quite long.
No, it couldn't have been if you're a good football administrator, and here's why. We have categories in these national teams at Football House. Okay, we have the under 17, under 20, under 23, and the men national team. If whoever was running these teams realized that the 2012 AFCON winning team was in the afternoons of their lives, what could have done then is like the previous executive did when they were constituting the team. Okay, what did they do? They picked players from the under 20, they picked players from the under 23 and the men national team, and then they blended, they put them together. Thankfully, to KCM then sponsored a team to go to for training. They spent 2-3 weeks there training. They made a team. That is the team that won the 2012 AFCON. We could have done the same. Okay. In fact, for us, we're even lucky that the men national team was already there that won AFCON. The best we could have done was to fuse in, young ones who are going to be taking positions of those whose legs were getting tired. Okay. If the argument is that the team that won AFCON was completely tired, why are we relying on Sunzu today, who was part of the same team? Why didn't we, for example, bring Mwene and the rest and say, Tosta, Mulenga, these boys who are in the goalkeeping department now, Kennedy, you'll be in charge of these boys. The other one in defense, you'll be in charge of these boys. So there's a smooth transition, Zach. We did not manage the transition from the 2012 team to the team that we have today. That's why we are where we are today with the men national team.
Do you feel the fact that we changed too many coaches also affected the build-up in terms of building process of the team?
That's another factor. Each coach comes with his own philosophies. Okay.
Yeah.
We are the when taking over. He was not supported. He went for some time unpaid. And when the executive employed
Mutual. Mutual.
no,
No.
before Mitchell, it was that boy from is it Vanderbroek or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vanderbroek.
Vanderbroek. The people at Football House, the vice president then, may so rest in peace, locked his office to go and welcome within 20 minutes of his being in the office, which Watson did not have. So in other words, we don't support our local, but we want to support expatriates who are not even helping as much as a local would. Okay? You cannot have 8 coaches in 9 years of being in office. It's impossible. Senegal had the Cisse for 8 years, and that's were there to show until now that when they delivered, because he had been there, he studied everybody, he knows the system, he's a local, he understands the culture. They won almost everything in all the age categories of the tournaments that are done or conducted by CAF and FIFA. They did under Cisse. So yes, we mismanaged the coaching department, we mismanaged players, we mismanaged the transition. That's why today it's difficult to even name a player who is supposed to be in the national team who is not supposed to be there.
Let's move to prior to elections. The campaigns were definitely neck to neck in most of the candidates. You talk of Adrian Kashala, Keith Mwemba, and Andrew, the incumbent at the time. The campaigns were neck to neck. It was unpredictable who would win it. But when we got to Livingstone, Zambia got embarrassed in the presence of FIFA and CAF. And when the elections were cancelled because of an injunction, we all thought, what is this? I mean, just explain to us what does it really mean to such levels of embarrassment?
When you're running a public institution and in that seat you're occupying is a subject of election, and you choose to make plans and or look at ways of entrenching your position to the exclusion of others, that embarrassment will come.
Yeah, I should have started with that issue of Andrew Kamanga nearly going. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an embarrassment because firstly, an embarrassment was started by the electoral committee. Okay, the electoral committee's mandate was not to declare a candidate at the time of filing in nominations. In fact, when you go to the electoral code, article 8.2, the electoral code says if or when candidates file in nominations, within 2 days, the electoral committee should revert to individual candidates and tell them of any missing documents which will make the candidature invalid. At the time, it suits the incumbent not to that is same electoral committee can
that candidates would have read the requirements. Why are you bringing filing? Why are you filing in with missing documents, for example?
Then you strike off the 8.2, which says you must revert to them and say this document is. Let me be sure that my document is there. However, FAS in the process of managing football decided to change the what they called e-connect or something. Okay, in that e-connect, either by design or by deliberately ignoring facts, decided to ignore one's period of service to football and start from when the system was implemented. For example, I was president for Changa Rangers for 8 years. If you go to FAS today, you won't find that record in the system. It's like I've never been in football. Okay, so to the electoral committee or any other person who does not know that Blackwell Siwale was president for Changa Rangers, he would disqualify me. But if he calls me and says, hey, Blackwell, can you please prove to us that indeed you have been in football for all this long period? Then I will prove. Other than disqualifying me, call me as per Article 8.2 of the electoral code, and then I will come to you and say, oh, here's my record. Then In fact, the embarrassment started with the electoral code. They embarrassed Zambia. And the FIFA itself, it was their own making by not following rules or numerous complaints that were sent to them, and the numerous injunctions that were obtained against FAS That should have been a red flag to them and say, something is not right in Zambia. The embarrassment in Livingston was not the first. It's not the first that the elections were rendered ineffective by an injunction. It's probably the third or fourth time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to the elections now in Kabwe. First of all, we see Kamanga lose an election. But of course, Keith had so many of you in terms of backing and supporting. And I must say here that definitely you were in the Keith camp. Did you see that coming? And what makes you think that in Livingston, Keith would not have won, but obviously in Kabwe, definitely he won?
No, well, there was no clear winner even in Livingston. But what we know is that the incumbent was not winning.
In Livingston?
No, he was not. Because we were talking to councillors. Councillors are the ones who were assuring us, because they had gotten tired of these issues of exclusion of people from football management.
Right.
They had gotten tired of unnecessary banning of people that have got passion for football, and then you exclude them because you want to be in office alone. They had gotten tired. And therefore, they said enough is enough. And then, to be honest with you, in Zambia, a third term, whether it's national politics or it's football politics, is something that is unwanted. And you preach to people that this guy is coming in the office for he wants a third term, that's enough for everybody. That's why we knew that a third term for Andrew Kamanga would not work, because it's not wanted in Zambia. 2 terms are enough for you to achieve what you wanted, plan to achieve. If you don't, step aside and hand over what you should have achieved, if it is well meaning anyway, and let someone else take over and manage it.
Here we are. The women's team qualified to the AFCON, didn't perform to our expectations. They didn't beat their last record at the AFCON. And Kosafa, the men, performed poorly, worse off. The Chan. What do you allude these to? I mean, would you say change of administration does have an effect on the performance of national teams?
Yes, it does.
Would you say this is one of them?
It is.
Tell us how.
I'll tell you how. Firstly, we all know that the president of the Football Association of Zambia is on record having said he actually took over empty coffers. Okay, there was
everyone does take over empty coffers. I mean, everyone does. Kamanga said the same.
No, but I was with Kamanga then. There were no empty coffers. It was rhetoric. So that affects the camping of the national team. Okay, teams. That does, because you need money. Keep in mind that the government of the day only supports the men national team. It's only now that there's an MOU also to help out in the women national team. And also there's an MOU to also help out with the head coach and also the women national team coach. Initially, there was nothing like that. So, and then even again, it's in public domain that the grant was not paid. It's now that it's been paid half or something like that, and there's something remaining. Nora has been paid in full. Okay, our local coaches, some of them even now, they're still unpaid from work done before this current executive is in office. So there are all those bunch of issues that Keith is grappling with. And I'm very hopeful that with the support of everybody that is enjoying now, you should be able to maneuver and make sure that this thing works out. It should. The Chan, for me, it's something that was not done properly, in the sense that other teams like South Africa, Chan is reserved for under 23. It's more of a developmental program. But if you're going to take 5 men national team players to Chan, the question is, what are you trying to achieve? Are you exposing them? They're already exposed. So why not take 5 of those players from under 20, under 23, and make a team that is going to be built for the future? We performed poorly because the coach claims there was no camping. They said a lot of things about why we didn't perform. But the point for me, the point is this poor selection. We did not need players that are in the main national team. We needed players that are not in the national team who are hungry to achieve. But the more important thing, Zach, is that, and this is what we were against when the previous executive decided to change the calendar for starting the league. The players were very lethargic. Um, the league started 2 weeks ago. Is it a week or two? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. All this time they were resting, and it takes 6 weeks for the muscles to come to terms with the rigorous activities in playing football. So you have players and it's a locally based tournament. You have players who have not been active in football for the past 1 month or 2 months because the league is in recess. Then you assemble them, and then they train for 2 weeks, and then you tell them, no, let's go and participate in the tournament. It's impossible to achieve anything, Jack. So the league restructuring to start or align what they called FIFA aligned, it has not helped us. These are the consequences of having made those decisions, including the COSAFA outing. Same scenario. The main issue was our players were not active prior to going to this tournament.
Let's talk about the choosing of coaches. First of all, I think that the plan was that Wedson Urenda should assemble a team that will be headed to Chan. Of course, Chan was later postponed, but the whole plan was that he was going to go with the team to COSAFA, the same team, use COSAFA to prepare for Chan. We performed badly at COSAFA, come back, you change the coaching department. Again, Wedson Urenda could have identified issues in that COSAFA. And going into Chan, had he been maintained, he could have probably worked on the issues he could have observed at COSAFA. So why change the coaches in between COSAFA and Chan?
I may not have an answer for why that decision was made, Zach, but the point is, I have high respect for Wedson Urenda. Not because he played for my brave Nchanga Rangers then, we are one. No, but because his performance is there for all to see. He almost qualified us before Sven van Broek came in. He almost qualified us to World Cup. If it was not that robbery in Nigeria,
Yeah.
we almost qualified the team to the World Cup.
Yeah.
We beat Algeria home and away. That had not been done before under Wedson. And the team was okay under Wedson. So whatever the dynamics were that made the authorities or powers that be make that decision, I really don't understand. One other aspect that I need to mention is the fact that I'm not privy to the contractual obligations of the two coaches, that's Nora and Grant. But what I will hear is once the national team is in recess, they all fly back to their native countries and stay there until there's an assignment for the teams to participate. That's where we have a problem, because when then will they have the time to identify new players if they're not watching our local league? Okay, you need to identify players from the league and then make them do what you want them to do. You cannot rely on information from other people when you are there. It's not like you're in Europe or you're in where you can't. He's here. He's employed here, so he's supposed to be here, whether the team is there or not. Maybe a 1 or 2 weeks break, fine. You can go back home and say, I want to go and see my family if your family is not here. But 98% of your time should be in Zambia, either coaching the national team or watching the league as it unfolds. So all these issues must be looked at and say, oh, look, what are we achieving? If the contract is in the manner where I should go, be away when there's no national team assignments, then we need to sit down and amend it. Yeah.
Blackwell Siwale is a football administrator. He's our guest today on the Benning Issue, Thursday edition. And we are discussing everything Zambian football. Now, Keith is in office. He wins the election, and of course, the highly contested election for that matter. He's settling in. Let's talk about his settling in. First of all, he has made appointments, and he has called for all stakeholders to be part of the process of building Zambian football. All right. And some of them being Kalusha Walia. And I think we saw the SG finally appointed, uh, received quite a lot of criticism. And what is sad also is all those, most of those, or maybe let me single out one individual that was pro Keith is speaking bad about Keith. He's describing Keith as a one-term president of FAS for the first time. And everyone is left wondering what happened. Is there confusion in the Keith camp?
Well, it depends on what you call confusion. Personal expectations, individual expectations must not be grouped like there's the some acrimony in the running of football in Zambia. Agreements or not agreements done or agreed upon under a tree, sitting or drinking chiwantu, must not override national interest. If prior to elections, I had agreed with Keith on something to be done and it's not done, and that is what is not done is purely personal. It's unwise to go public getting an individual on a matter that was privately agreed, because then people are not foolish. They will read between the lines and say, oh, no. Just like it is now, they say, oh, no. This is not football. This is more of a personal matter not being addressed. And then now it has become public. 3 months. What on earth would anybody expect Keith to achieve in 3 months in football terms? Okay? Even a coach is not expected to achieve anything in 3 months. So, yes, there is no disagreement in what you call Keith camp. There's no camp, by the way. There are people running football, the stakeholders. The camps ended with Andrew Kamanga. Assure you, Zach, that nobody, apart from criticizing Keith in public, nobody among us is unhappy that Keith is doing a bad job. He's got our support. We will support him. If he does something badly, we will criticize him, though albeit privately, but not to go public and tell him that, no, look, he's a one-termer. How can you call someone a one-termer when you're not even a councillor? You don't hold a vote. Keith has a covenant with councillors, okay? And councillors are the 89, the National Division 1, Super League, and the 40 EXCO members in the 10 provinces. Those are the ones who must be talking that Keith has not performed, because they are the ones who gave him a mandate. He owes it to them to perform to their expectation or to adhere to the rules or procedures or what he promised them that he was going to do. If I agreed with Keith and say we will appoint Ben Piri as the GS, and then Keith says, I cannot do that, Blackwell, because I feel that it should not be done, I should say, oh, yeah, fine, it's fine. But if I'm going to go to the public and say I'm unhappy, then it speaks volumes. What did I want to achieve if Ben Piri was the one who was running football at that time? Okay? I campaigned for Keith, and many others did. So again, it would be unwise for anybody to claim that he's a kingmaker. There is no one who did 90% and others did 1% or 2%. We all contributed to his victory with the conviction that Keith will run football on our behalf. We didn't agree with Keith. If anybody said, I agreed with Keith that we were going to be jointly elected, and therefore because Keith is president today and I'm also president, there's no such. Okay? I campaigned with him. I campaigned for him. He's elected. If he fails, it's Keith who has failed. If he succeeds, it's Keith who has succeeded, not Blackwell Siwale, not any other person who campaigned for or with Keith. So personal ambitions, personal expectations, if not met, has got nothing to do with national interest. Yeah.
But the president, in this case, Football Association of Zambia President Keith, has been criticized on the appointment of the current general secretary, saying that he has appointed a dinosaur in the game. He is probably out of touch. Football has evolved. Why are we not picking up fresh blood, with obviously in touch of how football has evolved. There's criticism that he may not achieve what he wants because of the caliber of an individual appointed.
In
Much as the same person is highly qualified, but it's different with football
in
qualifications and being in touch with football innovation is different.
in like manner, if you had appointed a novice, you could have been saying the same thing. So for me, I would rather go for experience. Okay, keep in mind, Zach, that in any organization, it's not a one-man show. Okay, Machacha Shepande is not running the football secretariat in isolation or as an individual. Okay, he is free to consult. He can assemble a team that is going to assist him in running football. He has already found a team at Football House that has been there for years, therefore experienced, to assist him in running the association. His job is that of CEO. He's simply overseeing activities in every department of what is going on. Communications, marketing, competitions. There are people there who have been there before. If things fail to work out, and then that's when you can say, oh, fine, he has appointed the borrowing your way, the dinosaur. That's why things are not working out. But I don't believe Machacha is a dinosaur. He's come with a lot of experience. In fact, maybe the thing you're avoiding to mention is that he is from a Tonga-speaking region, which has been and was also at the time of electing Keith or campaigning for Keith. This narrative of tribes for me is actually initiating. Zach, we are 61 years of independence. We should not be dwelling into such kind of things. Karusha Walia was the president of the association. George Kasengele, may his soul rest in peace, was the secretary, both hailed from Luapula province. Andrew Kamanga himself, by some coincidence, the general secretary was also Kamanga. The marketing manager is Samngoma. Deputy general secretary today, that because HH is president, and is Tonga, the president is Tonga, from a Tonga-speaking region. Keith is from a Tonga-speaking region. Machacha is from a Tonga-speaking region. What is strange today, which was not with the two scenarios I've given? I think let's be serious in running national affairs. If the two people I've mentioned today are incompetent, let's call incompetence. Don't bring in their tribes or region where they come from. Yeah.
Having campaigned for Keith yourself, obviously you only campaign to someone whose vision.
Yeah.
We don't have the luxury of asking him the question what his vision is, but we do know that the fact that you've been part of that, you do understand the vision of Keith Mwemba in as far as football in Zambia is concerned.
His vision was to develop football. His vision was to bring unity. Okay. How did we believe in him that he can bring unity? We believed in him can bring unity and football development. Number one, because he started Musa from scratch. He developed it up to a time when it actually played in continental football. That we call passion. It's not ambition. Okay. Other people have ambitions to be first president. Keith was developing, moving the two things together, and also having an ambition of being first president. So that we saw, not that we heard, we saw what he was doing, and that's how we bought into his manifesto. Unity, yes, in fact, he's already achieved the unity part. The previous executive had discarded Karusha Wali completely from football, obliterating his face from the face of Zambian football. Yeah, chairman for the technical committee is a role that we believe Karusha will deliver, and we should be able to move forward in that regard. He's putting people. Dan Kawe is the president of the Coaches Association. Mr. Patrick Piri, his experience as a Zambian coach and former player. So I'm avoiding myself as part of the unit.
Well, feel free. Feel free. You were in the Kamanga administration, so
I was in the Kamanga administration, and then he framed me for things that.
So if he did, just like Kalusha has been brought back, and if you are brought back, who would question your administrator?
I wasn't brought back individually. What the executive, which they must be thanked for, is to remove all bans unconditionally. irrespective of whether one was guilty or not. That's what the executive decided with the Football Association of Zambia. Unfortunately, that cannot be put into action because the powers are limited to how far they can go when making that kind of council is called. I don't know when, whether it will be an emergency council or annual general meeting. That's when that motion can come up, and then it will be debated, deliberated, and finally.
So technically, you're still banned. Is that what you're saying?
If you like, yeah.
Okay.
If you like, yeah.
And does that mean that much as it was the ban, the fact that the ban was lifted, and then there is that technical aspect remaining? I mean, are you still free to participate in football activities? No.
Firstly, Zach, the arbitration tribunal of the Football Association of Zambia of the ban under the previous regime.
Okay.
They decided to ignore it. Their own arbitration tribunal, in writing, a judgment was rendered by the chairman now, who is actually a High Court judge. I won't mention the name, but they were chairman of their tribunal. The previous regime abandoned the ruling, and they didn't want to even be part of it. That is the levels. Those are the levels we had reached in running football, where a president association can ignore decisions made by the organs of the football that is running. And that's why stakeholders were getting fed up. So the current executive looked at the document and said, but this is valid. Why are we wasting our time? So as far as we are concerned, this gentleman is free. And said, we agree, and therefore, and any other who was banned in that manner or taken away from participating in football in that manner, the Damiano Mutales, the Shenkos, the Kazalas, Augustine Mukoka, and many others who were banned, Chimponda, Roy Nyambe from Nakonde, we will want them to participate in football, because it's not like they're coming to get money from football. Some of them actually feed football. So we want everybody on board. That is how we were unconditionally waiting for ratification from the First Council. Yes.
But let's talk about I'm bringing back the issue of the Chan performance, because this has been tagged onto Keith Mwemba's regime, right? That the bad performance, the poor performance at the Chan indicates the future of football under Keith, right? First of all, I do have information that going into Chan, players were supposed to be getting $2,500 as allowances. It was reduced to $700. Even this $700 is not the amount that players knew before leaving Zambia for the tournament. And to the contrary, under Kamanga, every player knew what was in them before they leave for a tournament. Surely you don't expect a player to perform to expectations if allowances can be reduced abruptly in such a manner with a huge difference, more so not even knowing prior to going to the tournament.
You'll appreciate there was almost a fallout between the current executive of an accumulation of allowances from the Kamanga regime that you want now to prioritize and say they were being informed. Yes, being informed and paid is one thing. So the allowances were announced but unpaid. Okay, I will agree with you. With the information that you said you have is correct. The point is, maybe the executive did not communicate to the players on time of what was in it for them. Okay, but that is the role of the captain of football to sit and discuss and say, okay, players are going to the tournament based on these kind of monies and terms of payments and conditions are this. If that was not done, it may lead to a Zambian color at international stage. It should be a pride. Okay, you can go and participate and then come and say, oh, by the way, sir, sorry, our allowances were not enough, but we did the job. You don't refuse to do the job or do the job poorly based on the fact that what you were promised was little. You should have addressed that issue also, you as player or players, before putting your foot on the pitch. I think these are more of administrative issues which are teething problems when there's a change of regime. Okay, I think in the next month or so we will not hear of this. This should be a thing of the past. And again, it's not FAS that pays the players; it's government. Okay, the government pays in full the Zambia national team allowances, bonuses, and anything that is due to them. So to tame Keith as a non-performer because he didn't promise players or didn't pay players adequately as per their expectation, it would be wrong because Keith is supposed to communicate a message from government of how much Chan should cost. By the way, the same allowances paid at AFCON, same allowances paid at Chan. Chan is a local tournament. In fact, in some circles, I'm a member of one international group where there are presidents and there's journalists in the entire Africa, where we discuss these issues and we are saying, is Chan really necessary? Because it's more of a waste of resources. Look at it. There was a game against Madagascar against the
Sudan.
yeah, the stadium was empty, literally empty. So, but if the Kenya was participating, or if it's Uganda or Tanzania as a host country, we would have had probably 20,000 people in the stadium. So, is it worth looking at it from a different angle? The answer is yes. Why? Maybe we can all agree that we should be taking under 23 teams there, because then we are developing football in Africa. Then we are exposing our players who tomorrow can go into Europe and participate. So the moment we take players to Chan and tell them in advance, you are in a, so we cannot pay you an allowance as if you are at AFCON. Players will understand. And this brings me back to the point I raised earlier where I said it's not wise to send players who are in the main national team to go and participate at Chan because the expectations are high. But if you take under 23, under 20 and say, guys, we are developing you, we are giving you a platform, we are giving you a stage to expose you so that you are spotted by scouts and also improve your skill as you play for Mother Zambia. Players will understand. I think this is what we should be looking at, and we leave the national team, get the boys who are going to fill in the gap of the main national team players should they retire.
Now, we all talk about continuity is always good. What is good must be kept and be developed. And there are questions to not develop it, enhance it. The delinking from the Football Association of Zambia is a good thing. Let the league be its independent and make its own money and let it run as a business. If these two, as the rumors say, intend to, then where is continuity?
You can only continue. You can only fix something that is broken. Okay.
Yeah.
The two scenarios you have given, they are both broken.
How?
Firstly, when you look at the Copa jersey, the logo there, okay, and I hope Zanaco does not take issue with the Football Association of Zambia. The logo there is exactly the Zanaco logo, apart from the circle that in circles that logo for Zanaco. Whilst at FAS is a standalone. Okay.
The Copa.
Not
the Football Association.
Not the Football Association.
But the Copa.
But the Copa, yeah. You look at it critically. You realize that this is more of a Zanaco logo. It may bring in patent rights and the FAS may be sued. So that aside, the manufacture, selling, and realization of monies in the Copa sale has been shrouded in secrecy, and no one knows who the manufacturer is. No one knows how much has been realized. We were only told how much was realized without telling us exactly what the profit is. How much realized, no one was told. Nobody. We're just simply told the figure, oh, Copper sells 20,000 kwacha in total in 1 year. Okay. How much did you put in? No one knows. What is the profit? Nothing. Okay. So it was more of something to do with probably the FAS not benefiting at all, because I think I'm not ashamed to tell you that 2 or 3 employees in that department have since left FAS on mutual separation, because the deal was bad. There are a lot of issues which are unaccounted for. And this is not what you're going to hear from the current FAS president. He's a lawyer. He is cautious of how he approaches issues. But from the corridors within FAS, yeah, we are aware that 2 or 3 employees have since left, because this job was badly done. And if Keith was to instill discipline, some people should be in jail.
You can't opt to correct it?
Correct it? No, but
considering the fact that the jersey has been accepted by Zambians and they have embraced it.
I'm not even sure which Zambians have accepted that. You know, any jersey can be accepted. Do you know what causes acceptance of a jersey? It's the performance of the national team. Okay, even if you bring Adidas today, you bring Nike today, if the national team is not performing, no one will buy Nike, no one will buy Adidas. Okay, the national team performance is directly related to the sale or purchase of the replica jerseys. So, if the replica jersey are bad from the beginning, then why should we continue with it? Why should the executive continue with it?
Let's move to the delinking of the Zambia.
The delinking of the, you see, the idea is good. The implementation is wrong.
How so?
How so? Because firstly, you will appreciate that the SuperSport is the only sponsor, and was, yes, it's gone. Now there's Topstar.
Right.
MTN is the only sponsor of the league. Sorry, the league, and also the ZPL, Zambia Premier League. The point is, if you're going to delink, then delink everything. You can't have one leg in FAS, and then one leg in Zambia Premier League.
What do you mean?
Zambia Premier League is not a standalone as we speak right now. It doesn't have its own legs to stand on. It's still depending on FAS. Okay? When MTN transmits FAS gets a percentage of what they call administrative cost. Then it releases the balance to Zambia Premier League. What's supposed to happen is Zambia Premier League is supposed to receive all the money and administer it to respective clubs. That's how it's supposed to be done. Alternatively, Zambia Premier League is supposed to be looking for its own sponsors to sponsor the league, to sponsor the Zambia Premier League itself. There are no sponsors. There was only one, and that one was for FAS. So ordinarily, if you're going to delink, and the word is delink. So if you're delinking, like I'm repeating, you can't have one leg here, another leg here, and then say we have delinked. No.
But there could be administrative transition processes that would have to happen.
How long for? We are almost a year from the time this was announced. How long for should that be? There's no constitution for the Zambia Premier League. They're supposed to have their own elections. The people that are serving in the Zambia Premier League were appointed by the previous regime. Apart from the chairman, whose position is even contested in court as we speak, who was assumably elected amidst a lot of contentious issues, mainly electoral. The rest of them were appointed by the previous regime. Tell me when the Zambia Premier League executive had elections, if indeed they've linked from FAS. They haven't. So let them be independent.
Is that what you are asking the current administration to work on?
If they are going to go ahead with the linkage, yes. If they want to reverse it and then say, let's start afresh and do it in a proper way.
This is the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. Our guest is Mr. Blackwell Siwale. He is the football administrator, and we are discussing everything football. I will be taking your phone calls on 0955-221515 pretty soon. And leave us a comment or indeed a question on our Facebook page. We'll be grateful to hear from you. Remember, the Facebook page is 5FM Radio Zambia. And let me at this point also acknowledge our partner radio stations for carrying this program live. We are live on iWave FM Radio in Chingola on 90.1 FM. Don't forget, we are also live on Platinum Radio in Ndola on 99.7. and ZFM in Kapiri on 100.3 FM, and not forgetting Tuta FM in Mansa on 90.7 FM. And remember, Muchinga Radio is also carrying this live, and we are on 88.1 in Muchinga, Chinsali to be precise, and Spice FM is carrying this live as well on 91. Once again, our guest is Mr. Blackwell Siwale, football administrator, and we're discussing everything Zambian football. Well, I lost that one, but I'm about to start taking phone calls. Let's take this one. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling us. Please share your name and where you're calling us from.
Banda Warriors, Water Compound. Warriors in Mr. Banda.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Good morning, my brothers were there. Thank you. We should also comment on Charles Musonda being appointed as the director for the under-17. This one. Two is that can the coach had taken the time to be a training ground for the players, which is not okay. The coach should be seeing the Premier League in Zambia. Please, coach. When you lose, you go to your best. No. Come and see how the players are playing here in the local games. Don't you take the chance to be a no. Please, the coach, all the two coaches of the girls and the boys, they should be please seeing the local football how it is being played for them to have a good selection of the players. So for that, let me allow others to comment. But I want you to comment on Charles Musonda. I know Charles has been one of the players who has come back to tradition of playing of football in Zambia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Banda, for that. We appreciate your contribution. We are taking your calls on 0955-221515. That's the number you're reaching us on if you'd like to be a part of our conversation. Our guest this morning is Mr. Blackwell Siwale. He is the football administrator. And let me take this one. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's much louder in the background than yourself, sir. Can you speak up?
All right, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Willie calling within Lusaka.
Your name again?
Willie.
Willie, please go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, it's good that Mr. Suarez is back in the game. We are happy for that. Yeah, even Mr. Shamenda there, it's good that but one thing that I want to say is that Zambian football is something which is uniting people. We come together when there is a football match, when Zambia is playing. We don't select, say, this one belongs to this party, this one belongs to show. It's not good where we see that our game is going down. It can not be good to see that even in football there is politics. So for this regime of Mr. Kismwemba, I see that he is in the right track, bringing those people who were sidelined some time back to go Zambian football, which is good. So, Mr. Suarez and your team, make sure that the Zambian football comes where it was some time back. We shall try to do that. It was in the right place, but the people who have got jealous, who didn't like Karishawaria, they to bring him down. But since now, this regime doesn't select who to control, who to be where. I think that's the best way to do. So, can you please, the time for selection, for player selection, don't look at where the player is coming from. Even in rural areas, there are some good players whereby they can play for the national team. Now, the problem is that how to get them bench. That's where I've seen there is a problem. We don't have much.
Willie, thank you very much. And your line was getting bad as we went on. I've got a comment on Facebook. Jack Jones Chandalala, right? Jack Jones Chandalala says, Siwale, your hatred for Andrew Kamanga is at another level. That 2012 team of yours, what did they do barely 9 months later in South Africa? Andrew Kamanga came in 2016. Why did you not manage the transition from 2012 to 2016? Well, I hope that Jack Jones knows that at the time you were actually also in the Andrew Kamanga administration.
And the other thing is forgetting is that in the same year after winning AFCON, the CAF changed the calendar, and we were forced to defend the
within
a year.
Yeah, true.
So I really I have no comment for that.
Yeah.
Hatred? No. I think we are breathing fresh air, my brother. There's no hatred for Andrew. Let him rest in peace. At his in his office or at his workplace or at his house, and give him a break. Let's give him a break. Except it's impossible to avoid discussing him because he was part of our football at one time.
Yeah.
So we have to refer to him in one way or the other, not because we hate him, but because we are referring his legacy to the current one and how he managed football as in comparative terms with other regimes and the current and the past. So that's not hatred at all. And it will be uncomfortable to use that language in this dispensation because the current executive is for unity and we all want unity, and you too join us in preaching unity and making this succeed.
Do you want to talk to Mr. Banda who questions on Charles Msonda being appointment, your comment, being appointed as technical director for the under-17?
I thought it was a commendation. So he's questioning.
Well, I think he said, what is your...
No, we like I said, I've just been saying talking about unity.
Yeah.
Let football be run by football people in all levels. Yes, administratively, we can have people that have not played football before, but for for the current executive to embrace people that have played football before, it's a welcome move for me and many others that really energetic and can contribute. Let us have everybody coming on board to help manage football. That way, we'll move. When we lose together. When we win, we win together. Gone are the days when the team is playing, some people will be saying, let them lose and they feel happy. This time we want to be part of the loss and be part of the success. So Charles Musonda coming on board, just like Arusha Wala did on the other side of the administration. We happy. We personally, I'm pleased.
We'll take some more on 0955221515. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Jack.
How are you?
I'm very fine. This is Mr. Chamba calling you from Kabwe.
Mr. Sichamba from Kabwe.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, Baba. Baba Siwale.
I hope people are listening, understanding your language. If they are not, then we switch quickly to.
I'll speak in Nyanja so that everyone will understand. Because Namwanga it will be very difficult.
Only me will understand. Yeah.
Yes, mine. First of all, I just want to ask my brother there. You have hope in Abraham Grant. Then the other thing is, me, I'm very disappointed with this member. Just after voting into the office, me, I was thinking the first thing he's going to do is to sort out Abraham Grant. Because I know you people, you say that if you terminate his contract, the big man is going to claim money. Yes, if he claims, just give him and terminate the contract. The man is doing nothing. Take me a tournament here, I want some again. I didn't come here to win. Every game, Mwamonaka. Number about Abraham Grant for an exchange. As long as we have you having Abraham Grant as our head coach, believe me, there is nothing good will come out from that big man. What I'm telling you is the truth. The man is failed. And I don't know why, but this member is still keeping him. Just terminate him the contract and give him money. You raise the big man, go and raise. Ukumia afyo chin kaba Abraham Grant Paris kachitika. Paris kachitika na ngufimo. And I don't think you were Siwale. If you have still have hope through Abraham Grant, I don't know. There is no need we can keep Abraham Grant. Keeping him for what? The man is doing nothing. Nothing. Bola na ibuera panshi. And we keep member Valero Shafi. Please, sir, if you are listening, just terminate the contract. The man is doing nothing.
Thank you, Chamba. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's take some more on 0955 221515. This is the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. Our guest is Mr. Blackwell Siwale. He is the football administrator, and he's here to discuss with us everything that is going wrong, going right, and how best football can be taken forward in Zambia. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
My name is Dr. Chanda.
Your line is quite bad. Say that again.
My name is Dr. Chanda.
Dr. Chanda.
I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Dr. Chanda, please go ahead, sir.
The point I want to contribute is very happy with the way the discussion is going and the point the contributors are making.
Right.
Mine is on psychological preparedness.
Okay.
I listened to the news early today, and the appointment of Charles Musonda is welcome, and a few others.
Right.
Mr. Siwale, with your coming into office, when are you going to consider appointing a person to work at the psychological preparedness of the players? I know we are talking about the physical preparedness, the technical preparedness. What about the mental preparedness, psychological preparedness? When are we going to hear of a trained psychologist being employed by FAS to specifically, intentionally work on the psychology of the players when they are on the pitch, when they are out of the pitch, and before the match? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chanda, for that contribution. Let's take another one before you respond on 0955 221515. That's the number you're calling us on. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. And how are you?
I'm okay. My name is calling you from within Osaka.
Calling, welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think let me differ with one of the callers who said about the coach. I think the problem we have with the national team is not the coach. The new administration look into the coming up of those football players. Because this kind of players we have right now, they look all tired. When no matter you give them the best coach in the world, they'll still lose. I think we just lost everything. They don't even have the morale. Even if they are playing, you can't see the morale. All they do is just the singing which makes them look like they're at the cousin. It's so pathetic to look at if you compare the football and the previous football. Otherwise, that is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Collins, for that. Collins' contribution and observation comes down to Dr. Chanda's. Is this a psychological issue?
No, it's not. Yeah, in one way or the other it is, but not entirely.
Do we have a psychologist, though, for the national teams?
I don't know. And that's one thing I wanted to correct Dr. Chanda. Sorry, Doc, I'm not part of the establishment of the Football Association of Zambia. I just happened to buy in the manifesto of the current first president, and I worked
and supported
him
right.
and worked with him in the background until his success in the election. And why I'm here to actually share part of his vision, because I bought into it. The Football Association of Zambia is an establishment which has got a lot of committees. Among them is the medical committee, and I hope some people are listening to this, such that.
But do you agree that
you
need?
Yes, I do. I do agree. We may need that inclusion in the team, The medical committee is chaired by an EXCO member, and the members of that committee are mostly is reserved for doctors. I think there will be nothing wrong in including the psychologist in that. I have known some people that are members of that committee. I will have a private conversation and see how they can reach out to the president or the general secretary and see that that indeed is just like we have a nutritionist. Yeah, I think it's important that we should have also a psychologist.
Because a psychologist, I mean, plays a very important role. There's a national team leaving for a tournament that needs to be psychologically prepared.
I agree. Yeah.
Going into a game psychologically prepared. Sometimes, even at halftime, you're 2-0 down.
Yeah.
It's psychological. Yeah. How you get back and probably win the match.
Yeah, I agree. So clearly, I do agree with you, Doc. This message will be passed on to the medical committee for people that are members of.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say I've got a direct access to the president. I will also share with him and hear what his thoughts are. I also have a direct contact with the vice president. I will also share this message with them and hear how they take it up. If they don't implement it, I won't go to the
They didn't
implement it like others do. No, I will simply say I've done my part, and then the rest is for them to do.
Yeah.
Sack
the church, sack the coach.
Yeah. Those are
especially that especially that the current administration is alleging that they inherited an empty coffers, and then you want to sack the coach who the sacking could be costly.
You be comfortable with the word allege. I will say it is true, the empty coffers. From the word go, and this is something you and I talked a while ago.
Yeah.
Sometimes also when the program started, I've never agreed that Abraham Grant should be a head coach for Zambia. There's no ambition. The man is 68 somewhere, 70. Surely his mind is tired. Let the man go and rest. Because at the end of the day, he's got no ambition as a person. That now he's already achieved what he wanted to achieve, which he had planned for when he was probably 40, 50. Now he's in the 60s, 70s. So has he got ambitions anymore? The answer is no.
He has nothing to lose.
He has nothing to lose, nothing to gain. He's done it all. So the best he can do is probably relegate him to an advisor, to the head coach or something. But if head coach, I don't see hope in this man. I'm being honest. The thing is, we are lucky. We have a practicing lawyer as the head of our football. I'm sure he has looked at the conditions that are in the contract, his obligations, our obligations as an association or as football, for Zambian football. Is probably planning something. This should not be a win situation. It must be a win-win situation, because sacking him now means that he will have to adhere to the contractual obligations that are there in his contract, which we are not privy to. But he, just like many people expected the president to sack people upon ascendance to power at the football house, you can't do things that way. There must be transition. You lose institutional memory if you're going to fire everybody willy-nilly. Let some people offload the memory that they have for the institution, keep it, and then move that way. So Dr. Chanda, I agree with you. Jones, yes, I do. I also agree with you. I don't have hope in Grant. I will not change today because it's Mr. Mwemba who is in office. I didn't agree when Mr. Kamanga was there. I do not agree even now that this man should continue.
But Collins feels otherwise. It's not a coach. I mean, it's the players. You can bring the best coach as long as the current crop of players and their attitude towards football, you can't change anything.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense that there are those that feel they are more important than others. Again, comes down to psychological issues that the doctor is talking about. And then the no is that I mentioned earlier that Grant when the league is on, so that you can pick players that are hungry, that want to perform. Remember, as a player, you can do so much, after which you must be pushed to do much more.
Right.
Okay, and that is where now the coach comes in. So these who feel are more important. These who feel is for them is to simply wear a jersey and then come out, whether you've lost or drawn or won, is not important. Let's bring those that are hungry. And this can only be identified if Grant is not leaving Zambia when the team has got no assignments. Can only achieve this if he's watching the local league, and he must identify players himself and assemble a team himself and say, and win or lose or draw with the team that is going to assemble, not a team that he found that there's Blackwell Siwale playing number 5, there's Zach playing 6. No, let him assemble a team of his own, and then he should be accountable to what that team does, whether win, lose, or draw.
0955221515. That's the number you're calling us on. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, do we have somebody there? All right, we'll do away with that. But let's see if we can pick another one on 09552515. That's the number you're calling us on. If you'd like to be a part of today's Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. And we have our guest, Mr. Blackwell Siwale. He is the football administrator. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Your name, and where are you calling us from? Oh, too bad we lost that one. But call us back. We'll be grateful to hear from you. Again, let me try another one. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Well, we seem not to have that line come through. Let's try another one. Remember, the number you're calling us on is 0955221515. And you can leave us a comment. Just in case you are failing to come through our line, please use our Facebook page. Leave us a comment. Indeed, on the same number, send us a message, an SMS, and we'll be grateful to read it out. Let's see if we can pick another one. Good morning.
Tauka
Mauka Bwanji uko.
Tauka bwino. Bwanji wazungu ino mkamba kizungu. Miriro Siwale.
Good morning.
Kama na washimati. Maona ngati mwayanga na bwino. Kani ya masovera. Kai today you have brought Zachariah Banda.
Yes.
They were deliberately brought sports and not politics.
Well,
And,
it's still politics, but in football. But go ahead.
Yeah. So the game bring us together, whether we are different. When Zambia wins, we're all happy and cheer the boys, the 11. So the only point what I want to say that Siwale is there. We are listening. And it's a politics, but in football today, you Zambian, everything you bring into politics. So I was expelled in football. I don't know in Kamanga or in Karushawaria. Say we are blacklisted you in football. They is speaking there. But for us, it's not our interest. Our interest is to see the boys to lift the flag high and cheer, especially soccer fans and mothers. Football is not just a game, but it's a business. You know that these boys, you call them, others you call them junkies, but they have talent. When they play very well, they score. They go to Europe. They go to Premier League, La Liga. They got more than salary, more than any director here. That's why I'm saying the business and end their end. So what we are looking for, we are not saying Zambia is not only Lusaka and the Copper Belt. We have got in the rural areas boys who can play very well, who can score, who can defend, midfielder, goalkeepers. So what we are saying is that we need FAS is the mother body of football to see, to assess. When you go into that office, make sure that you succeed. But if you fail, others will come and say, oh, you are Feruka, Muchosen Point. So what we are saying, go in the rural areas and assess players. We have more talented youth. We can score. What we want is to lift our flag high to bring medals And that's the only score in there. And cheer us as a citizen, as the fathers and mothers, to see that our children have succeeded. Instead of just going there, participating, you come with empty hands. The way you did in Chani, I don't know if there is Chani. All 4 games, nothing, no even a point. Come with empty hand. That's embarrassment. So what we want, we have got hidden talents. So for us, I think even the Minister of Sports says, when you come back, there was someone due to come to ask you why you embarrassed that like this. But you qualified to go there, but you went there, come with empty hand. But for us, we are not talking about Chan. We are talking in all games. Make sure that you cheer us as a Zambian. And when you cheer us, Zambia will be on the market. And they say, they come from Zambia. Where is Zambia? Oh, there. Then he said, that's why you are even selling yourself tourism. I think, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Shmagi, for your contribution. Let me see if I can pick up 2 more, and then I can give you an opportunity to respond. Let's try this one. Good morning.
Mr. Zach, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I've been trying since inception.
Is it?
Yes, Mr.
Siwale.
Yeah, Siwale. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Your name and where you calling us from?
This is Charles. I'm calling you in Garden Township.
Charles.
I use that. You like calling Garden Compound. This is Garden Township.
Township.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all,
yeah,
it's good Mr. Siwale is there in that position now.
Mm-hmm.
Before he was opposing everything Mr. Kamanga was doing.
Mm.
He was in that platform. I called you in this platform again.
Yeah.
So you know how God operates.
Mm.
They have given them opportunity to learn Zambian football. The first assignment they were given is to taking the team to Chad. What was the result? Are you with me?
Yeah.
What was the result? 0.2 goals, 4 games. That is chief member administration currently. Numbers don't lie. I remember that in the same platform, Mr. Siwale said in terms of TV broadcasting about Zambia football, in terms of the money issue. Today, why is the Zambia League being televised? You tell us. Is the quality okay? Mr. Siwale is there in that platform to tell us, the Zambians, what has gone on about the broadcasting issue. Let's to replica jersey. He's saying, Mr. He's saying that the jersey, he doesn't know where they print the jersey. Are you sure? Especially me who has been in football. I know Zambian football. I know. But you coming in that platform to start telling us that previous administration were printing the jerseys, are you telling us the truth? And the last 3.
Do you know where they are printed yourself?
That's why he's there to clarify.
Maybe you are in the same shoes. If you don't know, and that's why he doesn't know. But I wanted to find out, do you know?
Who is the current first president?
No, but it's not him. It's not my guest.
Yes, it's not a guest, but he was promoting who?
Yeah, but he has told you he doesn't know where the jerseys are printed. You and him are in the same shoes.
So no. So him now is in that position. The jersey has been printed because he's in that position. So he can't just start telling us as well, the public, until he doesn't know. But if somebody was promoting to become first president, he's there and that's it. Are you getting the point? So he doesn't have that answer start telling us he doesn't know. So that jersey is that copper. And moreover, I watched the first president when he was traveling. I don't know where he went for that Adidas. I saw him on this one platform, TV platform, at the airport. He was wearing Adidas. What is that? Does it tell us now to that copper issue? So you need to tell us as well why you're wearing that. Wearing the copper jersey.
Thank you, Charles. We really appreciate your contribution this
Thank
morning.
you so much.
There you have it. Okay, so let me give you an SMS quickly. It says, Mr. Siwale, kindly convince Keith that as a nation, we need capacity building in number one, more player managers, most players managers. Two, we also need a deliberate program to develop more local coaches. Our league keeps on exchanging same failed